I didn't think that was three. Okay. At 8:03, I call the June 9th, 2026 meeting of the Wetlands Subcommittee to order. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Vieira Brandel,
Here.
Commissioner Tev,
Here.
Commissioner Slater,
Here.
Commissioner Heller, absent excused.
Okay, public comment? No, after 8 o'clock? Shocked. Action items, adoption of the minutes. Did you?
May I make a comment? It looks like I'm simultaneously excused and called the meeting to order. I'm impressed with myself, but I'm pretty sure that didn't happen.
I've always believed in you.
Shows you how close you were reading these.
Maybe someone else called that meeting to order.
Yes, we can update that because it was Commissioner Vieira Brandel.
Okay, perfect. And I will not be voting on the minutes.
I think we may not have. Thomas, can you clarify is 2 of 4 a quorum? Is that enough to vote on the minutes?
We have a quorum with 3 and I'm abstaining on the motion, so.
Oh, but you're abstaining on the
Yes.
motion, but we do still have a quorum to vote on the motion.
Yes, but Tom could double check me. but
Okay,
that's
yeah,
what I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
last time I asked that question.
No, that's right. He's right.
Okay, great. Wow, hey, look at you.
Say that.
There.
Okay, well then I would like a motion.
I move we approve the April 28th, 2026 Wetlands Subcommittee minutes as they are presented with a change to item 1. Commissioner Vieira Brandel called the meeting to order, not Commissioner Slater.
I will second that. Any discussion? No, the only discussion I will have is noting that we apparently started that meeting at 6:40 instead of 8:04 or 8:05 as we did tonight. So clearly a
14 minutes.
much better time frame that day. Okay, can we get a vote?
Commissioner Tev,
Aye.
Commissioner Vieira Brandel,
Aye.
Commissioner Slater,
Abstain. Motion passes. So discussion items, continued review of the committee report. I think we're really just going to look at the conclusion today. I will share my screen so that we can do that. Okay, so basically, so there's one section in here in the conclusion that is highlighted as yellow in anticipation that we would take it out, but I kept it in there until we actually removed from the previous section of the report that the that the conclusion references that. So I'm expecting that to be removed because
Why are we expecting to be removed?
I think that was related to
I think the part on the last page.
or was it? There was a section in here that we were getting rid of. Oh,
Are we removing it in the recommendations?
I think that was it. I thought we were removing that in the recommendations, and so
I would hope not, but I can make my case if we need to.
which I thought that was the way I had read the previous draft, but it was still in there, so
Gotcha.
I put it in the conclusion
Yeah.
and then noted it. If there
Gotcha.
was, it looked to me like it was getting taken out or something, so that's why that's highlighted in yellow.
Gotcha. My
As that was,
understanding is that we were not planning on removing that.
okay,
Russ, is that your understanding that we were going to continue that?
on the public land.
Prohibit development within publicly owned undeveloped floodplains.
Yeah, I didn't see that removed.
Okay, great.
Okay. So we'll go through the conclusion here. I guess I'm not gonna read it to you because you can read.
I can read it.
Pretty certain you know how to read.
I did, and I had an opportunity to read it immediately before this meeting. I am just wondering if we can break this into slightly smaller sentences.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I can break it down.
That would be my only feedback. I think the
Okay.
content is great.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I can break it down a little smaller, into more bite-sized and manageable chunks.
Right,
As
so
we
manageable chunks.
send it out into the world.
Yep.
Where people's attention span is approximately one TikTok. So,
I've kept mine at about 2, so.
okay, that you're
I
doing
would
pretty
think it's
good.
at a 4
That's
TikTok
great. Yeah,
number,
okay,
so
yeah.
Thank you. No, I
Um,
think it's a very useful summary and I appreciate it.
okay, I'll get rid of the highlighted part if that's not, anything. That was just to note that. But that's why I kept it in there because I wasn't gonna make that call. And I will rewrite the conclusion into more manageable section. And then is there anything else that we want to go over on this version of the report?
I like the line partial compliance to active stewardship.
Right.
I thought that was a nice bit of wordsmithing.
Because
The city might object to the partial compliance.
I can put it out there because I don't think, in my mind, I don't think we actually technically fully comply.
There we go. Well,
So,
and that's
uh,
part of the findings, right?
yeah.
What areas do you think they do not fully comply
Oh
in?
my gosh, you're gonna make me go back. That's gonna be a minute.
It's okay.
I think it was mostly about the uh, 50-foot setbacks and buffer stuff. We don't have that.
The wetlands.
And there was areas where we had not done any of the inventory.
Right, then.
That we were supposed to do back from like 1992,
Right.
and we haven't done any of that.
Right.
And so I guess it felt like, you know, in effect, we're not doing a bad job, but we're really not actually
Mhm.
meeting all that.
Just
Yeah.
because it's not enforced.
Yeah,
anymore.
it's
So
not
we're in
enforced.
compliance with many of the statewide planning goals, but really not goal 5, and we never have been.
Yeah, and I think we even presented on that. I think even the city agrees that we're. I thought I remember there being a presentation where we acknowledged that,
So my conversation with the state has been that they basically say if you have an acknowledged plan, you're in compliance, even if you don't fulfill the obligations, goal 5. But I'm not that comfortable making the case for the city. So,
I mean, yeah, okay. My take on it was that we have not fulfilled all of the
we've not
obligations.
fulfilled, yeah.
And thus we are not in compliance,
Yeah.
that the state views us as
The
in
most-
compliance because we have a plan.
We could reword it into like of the vision.
Yeah, I guess
Of
that's
goal
more what I
5?
mean is the intent of goal 5,
Mhm.
even if we have technical compliance due to having a plan.
Right.
I wanted to acknowledge that we have done things, but that I felt like we were not
Right,
done.
right. We certainly have not implemented all the provisions of goal 5. And I think the state has created a technical way to say that you are not that you are not out of compliance.
Yeah.
Okay, so full implementation may be the verbiage.
Yeah,
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
I can do that.
Okay.
But I do need to note that down because I can say that in this meeting.
I think one of the interesting things about the investigation or there's the research we've done is that there's a lot of concern about technical compliance with enforced statutes and requirements.
Yes.
There's not necessarily an embrace of managing our ecosystem. So on the one hand, I feel like if the city is being told it has to do something, it does something. And that's worth noting because a lot of work that I've done in my past life has been suing states and cities for not doing the stuff that they're supposed to do. So when I look at some of the work the city does, the first thing I say is, are they following the requirements? And often I find yes, but many of those requirements are dated, not particularly effective, or not current to the current, not up to date to our current situation. And so simply by complying, that's good, but it doesn't get us to where we need to be in many cases. So I'm trying to balance the, it's not like we've not doing the things that we're being told to do. It's just there are many things that we should be doing that no one's telling us to do, and therefore we're not doing it. And we need to move past that. That's kind of the spirit that I've developed on this.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's helpful.
Planning part, like Commissioner Brendel was talking about last meeting. Yes.
And then a number of places where they really have jumped into it. Like I think the example is the floodplain management being beyond what's required, and the stormwater system, which I think is very good. And recently, I would say the tree program.
Historic too.
Historic, right? So just in terms of acknowledging where we're at. So stewardship, good
Yep.
word. So the last piece on this is the introduction, which Marissa graciously volunteered to do.
Yeah.
So when do you think that you'll be able to bring that back to us?
I think by probably next Friday. Yeah, week and a half. Having this helps a lot, and knowing that there's consensus around it helps a lot. Don't want to reiterate everything. So I was just looking for some feedback about length and tone, and I think we've got the deadline. That would be plenty of time for everyone to be able to review it before our July 14th meeting.
One thing I was thinking about with the introduction is that the idea of ecosystem services was developed years after Oregon developed its land use laws.
Mhm,
And that the land, so I thought that was kind of a significant fact.
mhm.
If we were to do it all over again, there would probably be more of a discussion on ecosystem services. And in some way, goal 5 is a little bit of an afterthought that's trying to correct something. And that the original focus on the land use laws that we're all dealing with was trying to reconcile, private land use like working forests and cities. And the missing piece in all of that was that you need eco-service systems in both of those places. But they were never fully integrated into it. It was like, oh, we're going to maximize urban development. We're going to maximize, private forest development. And no one really thought about how we are going to ensure that both of those are healthy ecosystems. A lot of things that been trying to retrofit on top of that.
Yeah.
Which is,
The nuance, the in between.
in terms of length, I mean, we have really a 3-paragraph conclusion. 4 pages of content, so a page.
Okay, cool.
For an
That's like
introduction seems
about
appropriate.
where I'm at. Yeah, a little less than a page right now, so.
I think the idea was to give a memo and some general direction and feeling, and not, a detailed 100-page staff report.
Say it. Say what you're gonna say. Say it again.
Right. I learned
Writing
that
is
ninth
the
grade
finest.
English, right?
Yeah.
It still sticks. All right, that and one Macbeth quote, I could probably still recite.
Nice.
But that's it for me.
Is it about wetlands? Okay, yeah, I was gonna talk about how, the thing I keep coming back to is how, all of the laws that are in place that we hear about, when we hear people concerned about more regulation, is, they're all good, they're not going away, they're still in place, but none of them were specifically for ecosystem services for the city of Salem. So that's kind of the point I want to.
Right, or really urban areas particularly.
Yeah.
A lot of, I mean, water quality obviously was, but it's really the Endangered Species Act really wasn't meant to. Not conceived
No,
of in terms
yeah.
of something for urban species preservation. And again, I guess just like ecosystem services, biodiversity wasn't really a consideration when the Oregon land passed. So we can't think about all of the new developments, just that, I guess, the new theories and, factual details about the planet that have come into the discourse since that,
Yeah, and
that is significant.
mhm. Yeah, and when these laws were created, literally you could measure a different climate. You could measure different ecosystems. Those are changing. How all of these things respond to our increased frequency of storms and all those kinds of things. Like, we need something that's made for the future again. Yeah.
Brings that back to Robert's planning point. That's something you want to integrate in your conclusion too.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of the planning, as a planning commission. Lisa, can you remind me when, was it Senate Bill 100? Was that the land use law? When was that passed?
73.
1973. And goal 5 was adopted later, right? Wasn't that an addition or was that an original?
The goals were adopted a little bit later, but it is original goal.
It was an original goal.
Yeah,
It's been amended at least twice,
Yeah.
80s and 90s.
yeah.
I probably need to go back and look at the amendment history just so.
I think I got it.
Okay.
We just have to make sure we've got quorum on the 14th so we can get this done.
Yes.
So Commissioner Tev, you'll submit to staff a
Mhm.
introduction and then we'll publish it with the agenda.
Aiming for next Friday.
Okay.
And so here's a technical question. If Commissioner Tev sends to you her draft, and that gets out to me, if I want to comment on that draft, what's my process then? Do I then send it back to you? And then it sends out to everybody? And that's the way to get the feedback back to Commissioner Tev.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I needed to know. Thank you.
So I don't know if you want to provide it in a Word version, we can send out a PDF in a Word, and then if you wanted to do like a track changes,
Yeah.
send it back, then we can put both of them when we publish the agenda.
Last time we tried this, I had a PDF and then had to convert it, and then the
Yeah.
track changes didn't work, and then
Yeah.
everyone got mad at me, and then it was just.
Okay.
Okay, actually, and we'll
Rich
send it to
tech-
Megan, because I'll be gone. And Megan.
Sure.
Yeah.
Robert, will you also just send me the document you guys just updated as well?
Yes.
Thanks for sharing with me.
Yeah. 8:20, meeting adjourned.
That's what I wanted.
I'm the only one wiggling.